You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Where are we starting? Yes, on our backs. Oh, how nice. Butterfly pose. Soles of the feet come together, and you can make this butterfly supportive if you want to have a bolster underneath the knees or blocks underneath each knee. But just coming to your mat this morning, I know you've been asleep in bed, hopefully a restful night's sleep, but maybe keep the eyes open here so that you can take your drishti, your focus, up to a single point of gaze above you. And the hands can lay wherever they feel most comfortable. Maybe they're connected to the hips or to the body, chest and belly. Maybe they're out to the sides of you, palms are gently facing up. Or maybe they are relaxed above the head in cactus. I'll leave you to make that choice and decide. And just settle into your surroundings. A familiar space to you, safe, secure, welcoming, hopefully calm, peaceful, and relaxed. And as you visualize those four walls around you, visualize your body, yourself on the mat. Letting the body release, softening out through any tightness and tension through joints, letting the bones feel heavy, and softening through muscle contraction and engagement. And find this steadiness and evenness of your own breathing rhythm, the samavriti. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. And a full moon is a time for rest. It is a time for recharging our personal energetic batteries, and also a time of renewal as we start the lunar cycle again. It's not a time to make plans or start new projects or set new goals. We leave that to the darkness of the new moons. And blood moon eclipses, which is what we've just experienced, are known for their intense lunar energy. And this is an excellent opportunity to find the balance between Hatha, the sun, the moon, the masculine, the feminine. A time to make choices of surrender, release, or a time to put effort into your physical practice. You can make that choice throughout the practice today. There'll be opportunities for that. Each and every time we come to the mat, it's a brand new start, a brand new beginning. We're not making comparisons to yesterday's practice, last week's practice, last month's practice. So take it as it comes to you today, taking rests when you need to. And inviting focus, your intention for practice of one that resonates with what you wish to receive today. Wherever the hands are, just wiggle through the fingers. Bring some movement back into the hands. Movement through the wrists. Give the wrists a little shake, maybe resting the elbows down on the mat, or you might like to lift the arms up and give the wrists and the hands a little shake in the air. And that shake comes down into the arms, into the shoulders. And then you can release the hands to the thighs, lifting the knees together, placing the soles of the feet wide and letting the knees drop towards one another as you spread out the pelvis, the sacral area. Notice, so you're gripping through the toes, starting to feel the flatness of the soles of the feet spreading out, all four corners. Notice the calves taking tension, the shins, the knees, upper legs. Let the weight of the hips and the pelvis drop into the mat as the belly releases to the lower back and the lower back softens. You feel the upper body, torso, shoulders spread, and the back of the head, the skull firmly restful on the mat. Heel toe the feet into parallel and just extend the legs all the way along the mat. Toes might meet here as you stretch and point the arches, and then lifting the arms up above the head, reach the fingers back. Big, big morning stretch. And that stretch can come into the face as you give yourself a big yawn. Open up the eyes, open up the mouth, open up the rib cage, open up the belly. And then gently swoop the arms back around to take hold of the shins, drawing the knees gently in towards the chest. Give the thighs a squeeze to the belly, lengthening tailbone. Just pause here for a moment before inviting movement. It's that moment of stretch into compression. And then start to circle and be creative with your movements here. Do what feels good, circling knees around one way and the other, and then maybe opening out the knees, getting into the hip joints here, noticing how they feel. And maybe this week you've been sitting down a lot at a desk or in a car. So taking in how the body is starting to feel after you invite some movement. Placing the left sole of the foot down, keeping the right knee in towards the chest. Nice deep exhale there as we squeeze that thigh in towards the right waist, right chest. Notice if you've lifted the chin here or if you're dipping the chin, but feel relaxed through the throat and the neck. Going to go into our reclined leg stretch from here. So if you do have a strap handy by the side of you, you can use that, or you can simply take the leg up. And again, we're not engaging any of the muscles. We're not flexing or pointing the foot. Relax through the calf and the hamstring. And you just visualize those toes starting to come back over the head. So you start to feel the back of the leg here. Nice deep exhale, surrendering into the stretch. If you wish to, you can lengthen that left leg along the mat, but pulling the back of the left knee down. No forcing, no overstretching. Just want to feel something. If you can, squeeze the elbows in towards the midline here. Lift the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Bring them up so that you're looking along the body. Getting your face a little closer to that shin, to that knee. And then holding the leg there, exhaling, maybe a little bit of a pull, and then gently roll shoulders and head back down. From there, we just work through the ankle, so flexing, pointing, rotating. Noticing if you're holding at the back of the calf, how that affects the two calf muscles. And then pull that gently down to the right side of your body into a half happy baby. Now, if you wish to, you might like to bring that left leg back, placing the soles of the foot on the floor and bending the knee. Again, we're widening out that right thigh away from the waist, giving space. Gentle pulling down of the foot, and the foot's lightly flexed here. Sole of the foot pressing up towards the sky. Then we take that into a reclined twist from here. So we bring the heel to the buttock, we take the left hand to the right knee and just roll over onto the left hip. Opening out that right shoulder. Maybe the gaze goes towards the right hand. And you might like to extend that right leg. So just starting to open it up into what would be deemed as a revolved hand big toe or reclined leg stretch 3 in yin. Again, your choice, always your choice here, flexing, pointing, or relaxing into that ankle and that leg. Nice and slowly, bring it all the way back into the center. The arms stay nice and wide. The right leg is up in the air, 90-degree bends, and then we're gonna slowly lower that right leg all the way down to meet the left. We're tucking navel into spine, spine into mat, super slow lower. Keep lowering, still lowering. And eventually the heel comes down, where then you can take a moment to rest in Shavasana, noticing what that right leg has just given you. Shake out the hips a little bit, move through the legs and the ankles. Draw knees in, squeeze knees to chest first of all. Belly comes down to spine, thighs come down to belly. Moving, circling through the knees, the hips. Again, freedom of movement, be creative, be intuitive to what your body is saying to you that it needs. Opening out the hips. And then left knee stays in towards the chest, right foot places down onto the mat. Squeeze that left thigh in, lengthen spine. Try not to take the tension into the face or the neck. When you're ready, exhaling here, extending that left leg. Again, no flexing, pointing needed, just softening out through the back of the leg and the connective tissue. Noticing any differences from right to left here. Right leg may extend all the way along the mat. If you haven't already, gently pull the right knee downwards. Each exhale, surrendering, letting go into that left leg lifted. Squeeze the elbows in towards the midline of that left leg, lifting up, head, neck, shoulders, looking along the body. Maybe a slight little pull as you pull those toes back over the head, and then releasing shoulders, releasing skull, exhaling as you do that. Then flexing, pointing, rotating out the ankle there, noticing that through the back of that left calf. And then we're going to open out into that half happy baby. So taking the foot or the ankle or the calf, giving space between the thigh and the rib cage and the waist, pulling thigh down. If you need to, you can bend the right leg up once more. Take that into that revolved twist from here. So dropping heel in towards the buttock, rolling over onto your right hip. That left leg comes over. Opening up the left arm, chest to the sky, maybe taking the gaze to the left hand. Dropping through the weight of that left leg. You might do the extension on this side again. Again, coming into that revolved hand to big toe, or reclined leg stretch 3. Noticing any differences from right to the left sides. They're not comparisons, they're not criticisms or judgments, simply observations. And as we breathe in, rolling back, keeping that left leg up in the air, lifted again. It could be bent, could be straight. Dropping into the weight of the hips. And then slowly, with control, navel to spine, spine to mat, that left leg lowers. Taking at least 20 to 30 seconds to get all the way down, as if someone's pulling the toes and lengthening your leg away from the hip joint. And eventually the heel comes down, taking a moment to just relax into that Shavasana posture. Feeling, I hope, balance through right and left legs and hips. Give the hips a little shake. Give the buttocks a massage. That in turn shakes the legs down into the ankles, the toes. You give the shoulders a little massage. Find stillness to turn the head to the right hand, gently stretching into the left side of the neck. Bring it center. Head turns to the left, looking to the left palm, stretching into the right. Bring it back into center. Lift the head. You can use the hands if you need to. Simply stretching the back of the neck, looking along the body here. And then getting up however you need to. If that is a snail to half boat rise, you can do that. If that is simply knees to chest and rolling over to one side, that's good. We're going to come up to seated, bringing yourself into either a butterfly or your Sukhasana posture. So here we're going to just do Surya, what do I want to say? Surya breath, pranayama, but it's the one single nostril, so it's not alternate nostril breath. It's just the right, and we're just going to do 5 breaths of there. So the hands are the same, and you're going to bring the 2 first fingers, index finger, middle finger, to the third eye. We're going to close off the left nostril with our ring finger here. And we're just going to take 5 breaths in and out of the right nostril. Okay, so this is our solar or sun-piercing breath. So let's breathe in and out together, both nostrils. When you're fully emptied on that exhale, close off the left nostril, breathe in through the right. A momentary pause of fullness at the top, then fully exhale. Breathe in through the right. Moment of retention and before the exhale. We'll do 3 more at your own rhythm, your own pace. Just right nostril inhales and exhales. Once you've completed your 5 rounds of Surya, sun-piercing breath, releasing the hand down, breathing normally through both nostrils, just noticing if that changed the strength of the left and the right. Noticing if both nostrils are flowing equally and evenly. Come to tabletop. Bringing the hands down underneath the shoulders, maybe a little bit wider if you like. Spreading the fingers, taking the knees underneath the hips. Again, maybe a little bit wider if you like. We've got a little bit of free movement through the hips to come. Again, when we start working with a lunar practice that is balanced out from the sacral to the solar plexus, those are our 2 chakras that we are working on today. So the lower part of the torso into the hips and the legs. Want to find a bit of intuitiveness, bit of creativity, but also a bit of strength, bit of endurance. So maybe you circle, maybe you figure of 8, maybe you're introducing cat and cows in the mix. Maybe this is relaxing, maybe it's a little bit stronger. Maybe the head, the neck becomes involved, and everything is flowing. Letting the body go where it wants to. Maybe you're dropping the hips down into some of these back bends. And then releasing back into a wide-legged child's pose. Hands can support the head or on a block, or the arms can be out in front of you. Softening the belly between the thighs. Our sacrum shines to the sky. We deeply exhale to the earth. Fully connecting mind, body, and soul to the practice. And to yourself today. I'm going to remind you that it's your practice this morning, so taking rests when you need to, putting as much effort in as you wish to, finding balance between the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon, the strength and the softness. Bring yourself up into tabletop. Let's go into gate pose. Left leg goes out to the side of you. So just making sure that this knee is kind of underneath the hip. You're not too far away this side. So if you're on a hard surface, this particularly hard stone, but pressing in through the tops of the feet and the shins here, toes of that foot might be turning out that way, might be turning forward. Lifting up and reaching up and over. So side bend here, reaching fingertips towards the ankle. Maybe the gaze looks up towards the sky or it goes down towards the floor. Again, only you decide that for your neck. From here, we open it out. We keep windmilling the arms over. Hand might come down, and then the leg may start to float up into a kneeling half moon. Again, pointing, flexing, choices. Lifting up as if someone's pulling those fingers up towards the sky and floating that leg. A little bit of strength needed to lift that leg up. Nice and slowly bring yourself back in through the center. The hands come down to the mat. We start to crawl the fingers forward, dropping the chest down, stretching there. And again, keeping the integrity of the gate pose here. Flattening out across the sacrum. Pelvis is nice and stable. Walk the hands back. And then bring that left leg, your left leg back. Okay, good. Let's go other side. Leg extends. Again, finding the posture first of all. Lifting yourself up. Making sure shoulders nicely over hips. Again, positioning feet. Lifting up and over. Nice side stretch there. Ooh, tight this side for me. Notice how that feels for you. Again, gaze down at the floor, straight ahead, up to the sky. We windmill the hands over, hand comes down. As the hand comes down to the mat or onto a block, the arm raises, and that just simply allows that leg to float up. And again, flexing, pointing, whatever it does, but you're going to be lifting up from that outer hip, outer thigh, drawing navel in. Push down through that left shin, left foot. Release the foot, bring yourself back into center, realign, bring hands down, walk them forward. Keep the integrity of your gate pose there, dropping into that right hip slightly. Exhaling, melting chest. We're not dropping the buttock back too much towards that heel. It's nice and high. We're still in that high kneel. And beginning to walk the hands back towards the body. And bringing that leg back in. We're going to come off of the knees, tucking toes, coming into your downward facing dog, and really take this one nice and steady. Pedaling out through the feet, releasing a heel at a time. Introducing just a little stretch as you look underneath each armpit. When you're ready to do so, releasing both heels together towards the back of the mat, pressing chest back towards the thighs, lifting up through the navel here. Where is your gaze? Is your gaze at your toes, your ankles, your knees? Or maybe the gaze is up to the abdomen. Slow and steady breaths. If at any point through the practice today you need to come to a tabletop or a child's pose, please do. Walking the feet towards the hands at the front of the mat. Come all the way. Inhale into a half lift. You can have fingers on shins, floor or blocks. That's my ankles cracking. Inhale, lengthen spine away. Maybe straight legs, maybe bent, but keep the weight into the toes. Heels are light. Exhale, deep forward fold. Again, your choice, bent or straight legs. Take hold of the elbows, dangle, sway from side to side. Let the head, the neck, the body release with gravity here.
Only you can decide whether you start to straighten through the back of those knees, lifting sit bones up towards the sky, crown of the head towards the earth. Full dangle pose here, great for the sacrum, not so great if you have lower back issues, but drawing that navel in towards the spine and being, honoring and respecting your body. Lift up just a little so the hands can come down. Heel toe out into Malasana. Take your squat, and again, take your time to get into it. Maybe just move left and right. Bringing the hands in towards the heart center. Elbows come on the inside of the knees. Navel's tucking up. Maybe mula bandhas, engaging here, drawing in the pelvic floor. What are the feet doing? Are the ankles rolling forwards, or are you consciously working those ankles towards the back of the mat? We're staying here for at least 3 more breaths. Release the hands to the floor. Lift the hips and just turn the toes in, so wide of your mat here. Nice big bear squat, so it's like a chair pose, but it's bear. So we're on a long line through the spine, reaching the arms forward. Maybe the arms are in line with the ears. Reach hands forward, reach sit bones back, squat a little bit more. Try and get that belly, the chest between those thighs. A little bit of strength needed there. And then release, let it go, soften, soften, soften into the folds, and take your time, roll up through the spine. You can keep bent knees, just think about uncurling each and every vertebra, all the way up to stand. When you get there, heel toe the feet back into parallel, and then find mountain pose. Okay, do we feel ready? Let's get into the flow. Hopefully a little bit warmed up. I certainly am. Okay, so this is a bit of a mix actually. I'm going to turn that heater off because it's suddenly got a little bit hot. So it's a bit of a mix today with a bit of lunar salutation and a bit of sun salutation. I've done a bit of a combo. So our lunar salutation starts by our crescent side bends. So we're not going to do our upward salute and folds. So we inhale the arms up, taking hold of your left wrist, pulling up and over, crescent side bend to the right. Take a breath in, breath out there. Breathe in. Come back into the center. Take hold of the right wrist. Reach up over the barrel. Crescent side bend to the left. Breath in, breath out there. Breathe into center. The hands come down. We step back. Right leg. Find your warrior 2 position. And again, warrior 2 might be a little bit softer than usual. So we don't have to go to our deepest pose, first of all. Breath in, breath out there. Straighten through the front leg. Draw those inner thighs together. Triangle pose from here. Reach long over the front leg. Opening up, expansive posture. Shine that light from the right hip. Maybe extended triangle. Maybe dropping bicep to ear. Good. From here, we turn towards our front foot into our pyramid pose. So maybe you shorten the distance of your pyramid I'm going to bring my right foot just a little bit closer, lengthen the spine here. Make sure you've got a nice long spine, tucking up the navel. Exhale, it's either a forward-facing triangle or a pyramid, couple of different names. Exhale, crown of the head reaches down towards the ankle, down towards the mat. From here, we lift the body, bend the front knee, turn on the back toes, and we come into a crescent lunge. So we drop the back knee. Lovely, lifting up the arms, centering the pelvis as you need to, maybe a back bend, maybe bringing the hands to meet, maybe Vira Mudra. Again, breath in, breath out here. Dropping hips, release the hands. I'm going to go into a high pyramid. So we tuck the back toe, we lift the hips, and we stretch up into a high pyramid here. So high pyramid is that the heel is lifted of your back leg. We're not planted and grounded. Again, dropping body down. This is pretty much the posture that we did reclined leg stretch. And then release into a low, long lunge. Lifting chest. Good, dropping hips. Good. From here, we're going to move into a revolved triangle. So hand comes down. Again, you plant the back foot wherever it needs to be. You start to take the hand to the sacrum, opening up to the left side. Maybe the arm releases up towards the sky. And from here, we're going to shift that forward into your front supporting leg for your revolved half moon. This is where I am going to use a block. Right hand comes to the block. You shift the weight forward, lifting the back leg, letting it float up to the sky. Revolved half moon. So you can see there's elements of balance, elements of resilience and strength and stamina. From here, we're going to bring the back leg through, send it all the way through. Don't worry, this is your last posture of the flow. Into revolve to hand to big toe. Oh, maybe little wobbles. There's your Surya, your masculine energy coming in. And bring it back. Take it into Tadasana. Take a moment to pause. Notice the flow of the breath, left and right nostrils, left and right sides of the body. Let's go other side. I'm going to switch to the other side of the mat so I can still see you. Taking a breath in, lifting up. Taking hold of your right wrist this time, lifting up and over, present side bend. Breath in, breath out. Breathe in, come into center. Take the hold of your left wrist. Lift up, over, crescent side stretch. Breathe into center. Release the hands as you stepped back with your left leg. Find the placement for your warrior two. Again, just settling into the posture, feeling strong, obviously, as this warrior pose. We don't have to go too deep just yet. Straightening the front leg, preparing for that triangle, reaching out, driving that back hip away from you and over. Finding the gaze wherever it needs to be, down at the floor, straight ahead, straight at the hands. Extended triangles are an option, bringing that top arm over the ear. So palm is face down, arm is parallel to the mat. From here, we move into the pyramid pose. So we're turning the body, turning the chest, realigning the feet as they need to be. Lengthen spine, square off the pelvis just a little bit there. So you've got that nice flatness of the sacrum. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor. You're grounding through the back heel. And then from here, we lift up just a little bit to bend that front knee and release into your low crescent lunge. Dropping the knee down, lifting up the arms, centering through the body, the torso, the pelvis, maybe taking the fingers into Vira Mudra. Back bends if you wish. From here, hands come down and we tuck the back toe, and this is your high pyramid, so trying to keep the body where it is onto that front thigh. Exhaling, stretching that back left heel down. From here, low, long lunge. Get the belly on the inside of that right thigh, pushing back through that back leg if you can. Strong leg, strong torso, strong spine. From here, revolved triangle. So the back leg plants, comes in, hand comes down. I'm going to use a block on this side. You can choose. Hand comes to the sacrum. Maybe letting the arm float to the sky and gently opening up through that right rib cage. From here, this is a transition into your revolved half moon, needing to bend the front knee, possibly shifting your block forward, lifting the back leg, and coming into that standing balance. Last posture, coming up, pulling the back knee in. Ooh. Takes a bit of work on that right glute to get there, maybe catching the foot or just keeping that knee hugged in towards the body, opening out, expansive for your revolved hand to big toe. Ooh, I'm balancing off, no. And release the foot, release the hands down. By the side of the body, that heart rate got me there on that last transition from revolved half moon to revolved hand to big toe. Check in, how are we feeling? Give yourself that body scan all the way from the crown of the head right down to the feet. You might be pleased to know, but that's all of our standing work done. Let's lift the arms up. This is our sun salutation to get us down to the floor. Lift up, little back salute. Maybe the palms meet. Pressing pelvis forward, back bend, or just a simple lift through the sternum. Breathe into center, wide arms, chest leads, swan dive it down, bent or straight legs. Inhale, half lift there, lengthen spine. Again, your choice, stepping or floating back through chaturangas, connecting vinyasas. Again, this is a balance practice. Strength versus softness. And back into downward facing dog. If you're comfortable to stay there for 5 breaths, do so. Coming down to a tabletop or a wide leg child's pose whenever you're ready, and we'll all meet there. Lowering yourself down, taking that wide leg child's pose. Maybe supporting the head on the hands or a block. And as we return to one of our earlier postures, checking in on our breathing, our heart rate, our physical experience and sensations, but also where our focus is. Where's our mind, thoughts? Are we keeping present throughout the practice in the moment? Gently and slowly, hands come down to support you, rolling up through the spine. Bringing the knees together, coming to the back of your mat into that thunderbolt position. Active here, hands down, receptive, maybe closing the eyes for a pause, just reflection, conscious awareness. It's really important to have these moments of pause, insight, intellect, intuition. Moving into heron pose, I'm going to squidge onto our left bent leg. So the right leg comes out in front of you. And if you need to, you can sit on a block here, but I would gently kind of externally rotate that calf there. Sit nice and tall. So we're going to take a first of a heron fold over the right leg. Then we will lift, so lifting up, reaching up and over. Exhaling. Remember, surrender, let go. If the left knee is not comfortable, please do release and maybe go into your half butterfly. Slightly different sensations. Dropping down through that left hip, left buttock. Left shoulder drops just as much as the right. As we start to roll up, the right leg comes back with us. We bring it all the way in. We give it a little squeeze there, hugging, sitting tall. Remember, we're not trying to drop back here, and it's not about the height of that leg going up into heron, but you can interlace the fingers underneath the sole of your foot or use a strap. Try and keep the chest as close to the thigh as is comfortable to do so, and then lift the chest, lift the leg, and extend into heron from there. Maybe letting go of that lifted leg. See if you can hold it there. It's firing up those quads. Oh! And it's getting lower and it's getting lower. And slowly it lowers, but you bend it and you come into deer pose. So opening up,
into that nice little square there, 90-degree bend, flexion into the front ankle, twisting round and gently, I've got a plant right in front of me, but twisting over of that right thigh, softening down here into deer. Rolling up, walking the hands back, twisting towards your back leg. Be aware that you might need to move your foot to get into that twist, but our right knee drop, open out, gentle twist. Be aware of the sacrum and the rotation through the lower lumbar, which isn't very much. It's more in the thoracic, more in the cervical spine. Bring it all back into center and release both legs out in front of you. Reaching up, sitting tall. Paschimottanasana, a bit more energetic here. So taking the 2-piece fingers over your big toes, keeping chest nice and open, giving the wiggle underneath the sit bones. Don't worry, I have not forgotten the heron on the left. This is just a bit of a respite for those hamstrings and to release the knees. Exhale, full fold. Let go. Lengthen spine, long spine, bring you up flat back. Right leg tucks behind you. So externally rotate that right calf. Again, you can always pop a block underneath that left cheek if you need to. Here, dropping down through the right buttock. Take the fold here, lifting up the arms, reaching up and over towards the left foot. Keep trying to drop that right buttock and right shoulder. And you know, this whole flow sequence wasn't actually in my plan. I've gone off piste. Just felt it was nice to add in this little flow sequence. Bring yourself up. As you come up, that left leg comes back in. Bring it as close as you can, heel to buttock. Again, sitting nice and tall, chest open, hands interlace underneath the foot or use that strap, trying to keep the thigh as close to the chest as possible. Again, it's not about the height of the leg, and you can keep a bent knee here and extend. Done some hamstring work today, so I'm hoping the backs of those legs are loving your heron now. A lot of our practice was right and left as well. Again, finding that balance, equilibrium between the sides of the body, and then gently letting go of, the hands, keeping that leg there, keeping the chest lifted. And the leg is like firing up those quads. As it comes down, you bend it and you come into that deer pose from there. Rearrange the legs if you need to. I'm going to start to take that twist. Left belly comes over left thigh. Exhale, give in. I'm hoping the practice has given you a balance of strength, stamina, endurance against softness, release and letting go. This is the yin and the yang and the balance of life.
Walking the hands back. And let's take that twist towards the back leg, rearranging the back knee if you need to. Dropping through that left knee there. That left foot is slightly active. Opening chest out to the side of the mat. Breathe in, come back into the center, release both legs out in front of you. Dandasana, staff pose, hands come by the hips, legs are active, close the eyes, draw the elbows in towards the midline. Palms are simply resting there, they're not pushing away, we're not trying to lift up the buttocks from here. Of course you can if you want to, but I'm not suggesting that posture in this practice. This is simply staff. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. We are active, energized. Moving into an upward facing tabletop or an upward facing plank from here. You might need to rearrange the arms and the feet, but again, upward facing tabletop is bent legs or straightening the legs, lifting up, pushing pubic bone to the sky. Lower down. Come off the wrists, give them a little release and a circle. Just coming into a seated position, butterfly or Sukhasana. This is, let me turn and face you actually, this is our Chandra Bedana pranayama. So this is our left nostril breathing. So right hand once more, 2 fingers to the third eye. This time your thumb closes off your right nostril and we breathe in 5 times only through the left. Breath in, breath out through both to prepare. Closing off the right with the thumb. Inhale, left. Moment of pause, retention of fullness. Exhale, left. Moment of emptiness. Breathe in, left. Exhale, left. 3 more rounds, your own pace, your own rhythm. There's an in-breath, a retention, an out-breath, and a pause. Once you have finished all 5, releasing the hands, breathing normally through both nostrils. And again, this is an observation as to whether the left and the right nostrils are balanced.
Releasing the legs out in front of you to slowly roll down onto your backs. So if you need to pop something on before you roll down, please do so, but just take your time to do this roll down here, drawing navel in towards the spine. Each and every vertebra comes down. So as we start to lower down through the sacrum, there's a point where you feel that you're going to collapse. Try not to. Again, it takes a little bit of effort. Oh, I was almost there, ready to give up, but I continued to roll. When you get down, draw the knees in and roll and massage out through the spine. Be completely aware of the areas of the body that we have worked through today. Hips, back of the legs, lower back, core, rotations into the spine. So give yourself some love into those areas, opening out the knees, releasing into the hips, noticing any differences here in the freedom, the fluidity of the joint movement. Soles of the feet come down onto the mat and hands by the side of us. Neck is nicely aligned, chin is not lifting or tucked, preparing for pelvic tilts all the way up into a bridge pose. So our pelvic tilts are our nice, soft movements, and our bridge is active, energized, and strong. So keep going with the pelvic tilts first of all, increasing those, pulling the tailbone a little bit further away from the mat each time. Driving the knees forward, pushing pubic bone up towards the sky, coming up into your bridge pose. Maybe interlacing the fingers underneath the buttocks, rolling those shoulders underneath you for a higher bridge. Staying, holding for at least another 3 breaths here. Keep lifting hips, engaging glutes, strong core, strong spine. Release the hands, roll the shoulders apart. And then again, this super slow roll down from the upper body to the lower body. Each and every vertebra follows each other. Try not to miss one out. Keeping that belly scooped, pubic bone lifted. Tailbone is the last thing to come down. When it gets there, breathe out and soften. Extend the legs and take a moment to just feel open in Shavasana. Draw the knees in. Squeeze knees to chest. Extend legs, extend arms, dead bug. Drop the weight of the arms into the shoulders. Shoulders are spread and relaxed. Drop the weight of the legs into the hips. Pelvis and hips are relaxed. Rotate through ankles and wrists, one way and the other, flexing and pointing. Let us come into our final relaxation. If you feel that there's something else that your body needs right now, give it that opportunity. Make yourself comfortable, warm. Finding a Shavasana that's comfortable for you.
It won't be a long one because we are going to enter our weekend balanced, relaxed, empowered, and ready for anything. I will leave you to your own silence in Shavasana and let you know when it's time to come back around. But for now, let go, surrender to the earth, and remain present.
Beginning to deepen your breath, to bring your awareness back into your surroundings, back onto the mat and back into the body by introducing soft and gentle movement to the hands, to the feet. Choosing to introduce a stretch of the torso, arms above the head, lengthening legs long. And then drawing knees in for the final time today as you gently squeeze, hug, and roll and massage out. Taking as much time as you need in this process to return back to seated, rolling over to one side, bringing yourself up to Sukhasana, hands in Anjali Mudra. As you return to seated, just sitting nice and tall, checking in with yourself here, noticing how you feel, noticing your breath, noticing your mind's thoughts, your energy levels. Returning to any intention you set for your practice today, one of what you needed most, and what you can also take with you. What learnings did you receive that can travel off the mat into your daily life? Remember to find balance between the yin and the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the sun, the moon, the ha, the tha. And always thanking yourself, your body, for all it does for you. And I thank you all. Namaste.